Breaking tonight, two brand new polls show outsiders maintaining the lead in the Republican field, but not without some major differences between them. First, a USA Today Suffolk poll has new numbers showing Donald Trump is leading. He's up 6 points from July. There you can see he's 10 points ahead of his next closest competitor, Dr. Carson, at 13%. While Dr. Carson and Fiorina are tied at 13, each is surging. Carly by 12 points, up since the last USA Today poll. But a Washington Post poll that digs into who is supporting which candidate shows a different kind of story. Dr. Ben Carson is staggering. Dr. Ben Carson has a staggering net positive of 18 points in the favorability rating. Does anyone know what that means? It's higher than Fiorina's, and it's much higher than Trump's, who is negative 25. Steyerwalt's going to explain this. He's our digital politics editor, and back with us by special request, Howie Kurtz. All right. Can we just put that full screen back up with other numbers? Plus 18 sounds like better than minus 25, unless you're talking about weight loss. So why is this good news for Carson and bad news, I guess, for Trump, and I don't know, mediocre for Fiorina?
So we always care a lot about favorability. There's another candidate. So there's basically, in the new USA Today poll that's out, there are 6 candidates who are in the running. There's those 5 that you had listed there: Trump, Carson, Fiorina, Rubio, Bush, and Ted Cruz, that are sort of in the discussion. They're in the game right now. Then we want to peel back a little bit, and we want to say what's in there, who's supporting them, and what is the support like? Mm-hmm. What's the support like in there? And favorability is the measure of, as we talk about, are you open to this person? Are you willing to vote for this person? And we see somebody with high favorability numbers. That means they have a lot of room to grow. They have a lot of potential. When we see somebody who has a low energy on their favorability numbers, that means that they may be at the limit of their what they can do.
So let's talk about this, because you look at the Washington Post poll, for example, and it shows a growing gender gap, sharp racial polarization, and a less educated base as potential limits on Donald Trump's popularity. That's what they conclude. Why? Right. I realize that so many more men like Donald Trump than do the women. Hispanics and African Americans are not crazy about Donald Trump. His base doesn't tend to have college educations. But why is that a limit? I mean, if all of the whites without college degrees get out and vote for Donald Trump, couldn't he still win the nomination?
Probably not. Maybe, probably not. And the other thing is this: when you talk about where you are in a race, and when you're in a race like this, you're thinking about, okay, I can win at 25% or 26% if nobody catches up, if the rest of the field doesn't start coalescing and coming along. I got 10
points on the next guy.
I got 10 points on this joker. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I would feel
I'm
the
winning,
same.
he's losing. However, what happens over time is, as the Perrys and the Walkers and the others, and when does Rand Paul go, and how long does Mike Huckabee stay in, and Chris Christie and this guy and the next guy, as they
Huckabee's coming on the show. Don't insult him.
No. Some will stay, some will go. Some will stay and some will go. And those that go, their vote share will move on to other people, and those numbers will change. The reason we care about this stuff is who's going to do the best when the change comes.
Howie, when you look at the number of people who know Donald Trump, it's everyone. No opinion, 28% say I have no opinion of Carson. Fiorina, 35% have no opinion. They don't know her. Trump, only 5% of the people in that Washington Post poll had no opinion on him. That's the problem in trying to build up his numbers. They already know him, and they've made their decision one way or the other.
They better know him. He's on TV 22 hours a day. Look, I crawled out on a limb last week, and so a whole passel of pundits was saying Trump, he's heading down, his escalator is going south. Here he is 10 points up in the USA Today poll. He does have an unfavorability problem among Republicans. About a third don't like him, so people either really like him or really don't like him. But in the past, he has shown some ability to turn that around. Interesting on Ben Carson, because I think that he has the lowest percentage in one poll. 14% of Republicans viewing him on respond favorably. If anything, those comments about not advocating a Muslim president helped him. But there are a lot of people, I think, who don't know that much about Ben Carson. The media has only started taking him seriously recently. So I think that could change depending on how he handles the pressure and the scrutiny.
What these polls are showing us, Chris, is that, and this is back to the Suffolk poll that shows Donald Trump leading by 10 points. They say he's strong with conservative voters, but it's a much different story once Democrats and independents are in the mix. That the numbers go way over to the other side. They're not prepared to vote for him. Should anyone care at this point? Right now, he's fighting it out for the GOP nomination. He can smooth things out with the independents and the Democrats when and if he gets it.
So the conservatives seem to be gravitating to Carson. And that's what that Washington Post ABC poll says. Then we see higher education people with more education moving to Fiorina. We see this going on. Trump's base stays the same. They are white voters with less education. As you say, that might be enough to get through. But when you get to the general election, let's say he could pull off 25% of the electorate in the Republican primaries, get through to the nomination. Then you get to the general. If you haven't found a way to get out of that coalition or what you've had to do to keep that coalition together, and you get on the general election and you say, hey, Hispanic voters, hey, ladies, I'm here. Let's party. Maybe tough.
In the end, he went with a different campaign slogan, but maybe he'll reconsider yours. It was very catchy.
Let's party.
Great to see you both.
You bet.
Thanks, Megan.